Hello everybody and welcome. This is the second of the videos for those people who are stuck at home and who are self-isolating. Never thought I'd be saying that, but we're all self-isolating now in these wonderful times. But anyway, we're going to try today to do a little bit of abstract art, and we are looking at Cubism. Now you might know that Cubism was pioneered by Picasso and Braque and was one of the most important forms of art of the 20th century. It was started by Picasso, I think, in Paris around 1907. And it was a new way of representing the world. It was used simpler forms and it had brighter colours, and there were much fewer components in it. What the Cubists tried to do, if they were drawing an object, was to get every part of that object or that person, depending on what they were drawing, into the one picture. So, for example, here's a famous painting that you might have seen before, and it is Picasso, and I have lost it on my page. I had this page marked, but now I've lost it. So I will show you George Braque. Here's George Braque. This is the wonderful George Braque. And this is actually a guitar and a couple of objects on a table. And what George Braque has done has tried to get every angle of the guitar from the front, from the back, from the side, from underneath, and put the whole lot onto the one page. Because the Cubists thought that the way things were represented before showed only the piece you were looking at from the front. It didn't show any other component. At last I found the Picasso one. So that's the famous one. That's the Weeping Woman by Picasso. I'm sure you all know about that one. But you see the way Picasso has drawn the woman from the side, from the front, with her head held up, with her head held down, or from the back. Every single angle of this weeping woman is on the one page and overlapping on the one page. So that's really what Cubism is all about. And we're going to try a little bit of Cubism today. Now I want you to, hoping that you will choose about 4 objects. 4, you can choose any amount you like, but 4 is good. And because even Cubism comes from observation, abstract art is not something that comes straight out of the imagination onto a blank page. Because really, your imagination, it's not that imaginative. It's a whole load of stored images that you've remembered and have gone bland. So you really need to stimulate your imagination. You need to look at something tangible. Objects are good, whatever, to stimulate that imagination for your abstract art. So I've got 4 objects. Here's my first object. Look at this, isn't this cute? That's a little Chinese teapot that I had in the back of my cupboard. It's lovely, it's a nice shape. So the Cubists would argue that if you drew that and painted it beautifully on a page, you are not really representing that teapot. What about the back of the teapot? What does that look like? I know what you're thinking. You're thinking exactly the same as the front, but you would be so wrong. Look what's on the back of this. Woohoo! It's a fish. So, case in point, And also the cubists would draw the lid like that, and they would also draw the lid. Look at what the lid looks like from that angle, and look at what the bottom of the teapot looks like. They would draw that, and they would also draw it from the inside. So they would get as many components of the object as they could down onto the page. So that's my first object, and I've got 4. I've got this champagne glass, which is long and narrow. When you're choosing your objects, try and get different shapes because it's no good if they're all the same round. So this is a little jug. Look at this little jug. And then I have the knife. So if this doesn't work out today, but what I like about this knife is the serrated edge. It's great. And it's also got a lovely pattern on the handle. So I'm going to draw that. So first of all, on my wallpaper, which I've stuck down onto a board and placed it at a very bad angle, but I hope you can see, I've drawn round a shape. It's a bit of a board I drew around, but it doesn't have to be a rectangle like this. It could be round. You could draw around a bin lid or a plate or something. But cubism always looks better if it's contained in some kind of space. Now, it can escape now and again from the outer rim, but it looks nice if there's a space around it. So that's what we're going to do today. So again, you don't have to be able to draw really well, because it's about the overlapping of the different angles of the one object that's important, not how clever you are at drawing. So here I'm drawing my little teapot from this angle first. So here's my teapot. I'm going to draw it over here on this page. There's the lid. There we go. There's a little round part of the teapot. It's got a little in here. There's a spout which I'm going to take off page. There's the spout. I'll take it off page. And then at this side is a handle. I'm going to put the handle on. Okay, and then there's a little design on that, which I'm going to draw. Okay, so that's the teapot from the front. Now I've got the lid from that angle. Now I'm going to draw the lid from that angle. But here's the secret of cubism. Now I'm going to overlap the lid from that angle on the page. So I'm going to overlap that drawing. So what this is just a circle. So I'm going to draw a circle. You see the way I'm overlapping that? Now in the middle of that circle, there's another little circle. So that's good. Now I'm going to draw this teapot from that angle. That's kind of peculiar. Look. So I'm going to draw this up here on my page. Now, sometimes it works better if you leave some kind of space on the page. Now, this all comes to life when you start painting or colouring it in. It doesn't look much when you've finished your drawing, but it'll be wonderful when it's finished. So my advice is to leave one bit of a space somewhere on it that you haven't overlapped anything on. So I'm going to draw this from this angle now. So I've got my teapot spout coming down there, and then I've got a big angle down here, and then another big. That's the way I'm seeing that there. Now do you see? So that's overlapping this whole thing. Overlapping. Right. So that, I'm not doing any more of that teapot. That's enough of that. Now I have my little jug, which I am going to draw from this angle, first of all. Okay, so again, remember you're overlapping. So pick a point somewhere and then draw. There's what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing this shape, and then I've got a handle coming down here, which is a peculiar shape. It's about there. And then I've got a double bit there. That's that shape I'm seeing there, which is actually quite interesting. I think that's all I'm going to do for the jug. You don't have to do it for every single angle. Make a choice. Do it at least twice. So do 2 different angles. Here's my wine glass now, or my champagne glass. Long and narrow, which is good. So I'm going to bring this right down the page. I'm going to start up here with the eclipse on the top. I'm going to bring this right down, and then it goes out. Whoa. There it is. That's my wine glass. Now you see the way that's looking now, all overlapping. Now the bottom of the wine glass, look at that, it's got a little black dot in the middle of it. And look at that there. I think I'll draw this bit though. That looks good. There's a lot of circles here. So I'm going to draw another circle, the bottom of the wine glass here. And that's got a really kind of big black dot in the middle of it. So there we go. Now I come to the knife. So what I like about this knife is the serrated edge. So and there's the way my wine glass is going down straight. So try and vary the things on the page. If you've got 2 vertical things like this, you can maybe angle the second one so it looks a bit more interesting. So I'm going to angle this now. I'm going to take this, coming along the page like that. There I'm going to put the serrated edges. Look at that serrated edge. I like that. That's coming right down there. Oh, and then I'm going to put the handle and take the handle off the page. Now you could take it off the page if you like, or keep it on the page. I think it's interesting just to take it off the page in some way. Now, you see the bit of texture on the handle of this, I'm going to put this in. Now, you could make it either texture or pattern. So what's the difference between texture or pattern? So if I was drawing this in texture, see this here? So I'm going to put the texture of the knife. There's little dots. This is texture. There's texture. But if I was drawing this in pattern, the pattern is a lot of little. I'm going to do the pattern of this knife way up here. And it's a lot of little circles like that. So pattern is just really, texture is the smaller dots nearer, closer together. That's making texture. Pattern is bigger dots making an actual pattern on your page. So I'm going to do a few of these all coming up here, and the rest of the texture. I'm going to do a bit of that texture coming up because I like the sound it's making. I like the bit of energy, and then I'm going to join it up to the pattern. Texture, 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 texture. Now, actually, there is the finished drawing. Now, I quite like that. It's not bad at all. And you see the way I've left this bit of a space in here. When we are painting this piece, hopefully will make this stand out a little bit and just give it a little bit of depth. So in the next video, which is the really exciting part, because it all comes together in the painting, we are going to be painting. So whatever you have, whether you have markers, I'm using a blue marker for this, by the way, whether you have markers, pastels, chalks, or paints, get them all ready for tomorrow. See you again. Bye.